I talk with business owners all the time, from law firms, agencies, consulting firms, product companies, or even home service businesses. I keep hearing the same pattern. They got good revenue, they got solid teams, but they're stuck, completely stalled. And it's not the market. And it's not that they hire the wrong people. And it's not that they're not working hard enough. But here's what's actually happening. The people at the top are just 5% apart on where the business is actually going. That's it, just 5%. By the time that small difference gets down to the team level, execution is broken. So today I'm going to show you why that small fracture at the top creates this massive collapse at the bottom. And I'm going to give you a test you can run right after this video to see if you've got this problem. Look, alignment is not the same as agreement. Alignment is shared definition. In the last video, I broke down why most businesses build in the wrong order. They do technology before vision. That's why they end up in the constant rebuild cycle. If you haven't seen that video yet, pause this one right now and go watch that first. The link is in the description. This is going to make a lot more sense if you watch that one. All right, let's look at why your foundation may be cracking. Here's the thing about small differences in business. They don't stay small, they multiply. Every hiring decision, every workflow you design, and every piece of technology you configure, that small disagreement at the top becomes this operational drag everywhere else. Think about it like a hairline crack in the building's foundation. When the building is small, you don't even notice it. But as you start adding more floors, more weight, more employees, more clients, that crack gets worse and worse. And eventually, it threatens the whole structure. If two partners are aiming at two different targets, the team will hit neither. Not because they're bad at execution, but because the target is moving. That 5% gap doesn't stay in the boardroom. It shows up in your hiring, it shows up in your messaging, and how actually work gets done. Here are 3 checkpoints I want to share with you that I think will help you understand this better. The first checkpoint. If you have a partner, think about the last decision that took weeks to make. What was it really about? My guess, it wasn't actually about the decision. It was about the 2 different definitions of what winning looks like. Let me start with what this looks like if you're a solo owner or the majority owner running the business. I was talking with a firm owner recently. She's been running her business for over a decade. Good revenue, she has loyal clients and respected in her industry. But she's frustrated. She told me, I see the vision so clearly. I know exactly where we need to go. I know what great service looks like. And I know the kind of clients we should be serving. But when I try to get my team to execute, nothing comes out right. She explains what she wants. The team nods. They go do the work, and it comes back wrong. Not terrible, but not what she had in her head. So she explains it again in more detail. The team tries again, still not right. This has been going on for years. Here's what's happening. She's got this clear vision in her mind, but she's never translated that vision into language the team can clearly understand and execute on. It's like telling a construction crew to build you a comfortable house. Everyone's definition of comfortable house is different. For one person, it's modern and open. For another, it's cozy and traditional. Clarity in your head is not clarity in your business. For this owner, she knew what great client service meant, but she'd never documented it. She'd never broken it down into specific behaviors, and she'd never created a process the team could follow. So every team member is guessing. Some of them think great service means responding fast. Others think it means being thorough. Others think it means being friendly and personal. All those are good. But if you're trying to do all 3 without clarity on which one matters most, you end up doing none of them well. She didn't have a team problem. She had a translation problem. Now let me show you what this looks like when you got partners. I've seen this pattern over and over across different industries. Same fracture, just different business. At a law firm, one partner wants high net worth complexity. deep estate planning and custom structures. The other wants streamlined volume for middle market families, simple wills, and efficient processes. Strategically, those are two different companies. At an agency, one partner wants brand strategy, long-term retainers, and building trust over time. The other wants performance lead generation, short-term metrics, and measurable ROI. One is relationship depth, the other is about campaign velocity. And at a home service company, one owner wants white glove premium installs. Take your time, do it perfectly. The other wants high volume with competitive pricing. Move fast, keep costs down. Different industries, same fracture. Two different definitions of winning. And here's the dangerous part. In conversation, this sounds like a small preference. One partner says quality, the other says efficiency. Both of those sound reasonable, right? So you avoid the hard conversation and you just keep moving. But you can't build a business that does both equally well. You have to choose, and until you do, your team is executing two different definitions of winning. This is what I call conflict debt. You avoid that 5% disagreement today, but you pay it back with interest every single day. And that interest shows up as team confusion. Here's what actually happens when two partners disagree. The team builds two playbooks. Sales starts optimizing for one outcome. They're closing deals based on what one partner wants. Delivery starts optimizing for a different outcome. They're executing based on what the other partner wants. Marketing is trying to speak to both, and that's why the message becomes generic. So you end up with sales promising one thing, delivery doing another thing, and marketing not really sure what to say. Checkpoint number 2. Does everyone on your team describe your best client the same way? If you went and asked 10 people separately, would you get 10 identical answers? Probably not. And here's how you know this is happening. Your marketing keeps shifting tone every quarter. Hiring criteria quietly changes depending on which partner is doing the interview. One department is optimizing for speed, while another is optimizing for depth. Your CRM is full of data, but nothing actually moves. Leadership meetings keep revisiting the same 3 decisions every month because they were never truly settled. Your team is not failing execution. They're executing 2 different definitions of the goal. So I want to give you something you can use today, right after finishing watching this video. It's a diagnostic you can run. It takes about 60 seconds. Here's how it works. Take your partners into 2 separate rooms. No discussion, no collaboration. Everyone writes separately. If you're a solo owner, do this with your key leaders, your top team members. Have everyone answer these 3 questions. And no abstract words like excellence or quality. Be very specific. Question 1. What is the one specific thing our clients stop worrying about the moment they hire us? Question 2. What is our number 1 priority this quarter? And question 3. What do we refuse to do even if it makes us money? Now, score your results. And if 3 out of 3 match, you're aligned. You're good. If 2 out of 3 match, you've got friction. If 1 out of 3 match, you've got fracture. If 0 out of 3 match, you are running 2 different businesses under one roof. Let me show you what this looks like in real conversations. I've asked these questions to partners who've been working together for over a decade. The first question, one partner writes, clients stop worrying about compliance risk. The other writes, clients stop worrying about missing strategic opportunities. 2 completely different outcomes. One is defense, one is offense. One's protection, one is growth. Both are good answers, but you can't build a business that does both equally well. The second question, one writes, close more deals. The other writes, improve client retention. Again, both good, but those require completely different systems. And for the third question, one writes, we refuse to work with clients who don't value expertise. The other writes, we refuse to work with clients who can't pay up front. Different filters, and they attract different client base. And here's checkpoint number 3. If your follow-up feels robotic, ask yourself, is the outcome unclear or is the process unclear? My guess is the outcome is unclear. Because if the leadership can't agree on what the client stops worrying about, your systems are just guessing. When these partners saw those different answers on paper, everything clicked. They finally understood why execution has been breaking down for years. So if you scored 2 out of 3, here's what to do this week. Schedule 1 hour with your partners or your leadership team. Put the 2 answers down that didn't match on the table. Have the hard conversation. Pick one. Lock it in. Document it. If you score 1 out of 3 or 0 out of 3, you need a deeper conversation. This isn't something you fix in one meeting. The first conversation to have is this. Are we building the same business, or are we building 2 different businesses under one name? That's not a comfortable question, and it is the only question that matters, because a 5% gap at the top is a structural risk. It gets more expensive as you scale because that misalignment, it's baked into your hiring, your process, your technology, and everything. The companies that scale cleanly catch this early. Most companies only notice it once the execution is already messy. Now, if your answers match on all 3 questions, you're in a strong place, so keep doing what you're doing. But if they didn't match, you just found the source of your hidden waste. If you want help mapping this, there's a link in the description to request a diagnostic. It's a technical audit where we isolate the fracture so you know exactly what to fix first. You'll leave that conversation with a 1-page alignment map. It defines your outcome, your priority, and your non-negotiables. It's structured, it's direct, and it's not a pitch. In the next video, we're going to cover the client fit fracture. How the wrong 5% of clients quietly destroy your margin without you even realizing it. If you found value in this breakdown, make sure you're subscribed. I put one of these every week. And if you haven't watched the first video yet, the link is in the description. That's where we establish the foundation for everything. I'll see you in the next one.